Good evening. It's one of the biggest derbies in the Championship in England. Sheffield United versus Sheffield Wednesday in the Steel Derby. This will be live as long as my computer doesn't cite the crash or freeze. Sheffield United won the first meeting in September at Hillsborough 4-2 in an absolute classic game. So hopefully this will be another cracking game. So it's a city divided tonight. Blades and Owls. The red half of Sheffield versus the blue half of Sheffield.
I'm looking back at myself in my career. I mean, I love games like this. This is what football's all about. You know, you can't worry about the odd bad pass or the odd bad tap. You just got to go and play. Come on, these are great nights to play football. You know, and you've got, what, 30,000 people that have swapped positions, you know, that are here tonight.
I love this stadium still. We were talking earlier, Nigel, off air about Sheffield as a footballing city still, and it really is, and they're desperate to get one of these sides into the Premier League again.
Of course, both founder members of the Premier League back in 1992. They had a couple of years playing against each other at the top level, and this is a Premier League stadium. It's difficult to believe it was down in League One for 6 years, but when this place is full, like it is tonight, it is a very atmospheric ground. It's a traditional football ground. They've modernised it sympathetically. That's why I think it's so great.
Yeah, there's still all the little bits and pieces that you want to remember as well, with the wall carpet. You suddenly arrive at the ground. You can just see as you come round down from the hills towards this part of Sheffield as well. The lights just flickering above, and you know that the action below is going to be spot on. Sheffield Wednesday fans, a lot more of them in now. They've found their voice again tonight. It's going to be fast, quick, furious, top action, everything you ever get with Talk Sport in the Championship, because it's a division, part of our 500 live games. The EFL has just been a real addition to us, and what it has given us on these Friday nights in particular are not just good games. It's given us goals, it's given us moments that really matter, and I see no reason absolutely why this shouldn't be any different here tonight. The clock on the stand absolutely opposite our eye line right now has made its way through to a 7:45. We're just awaiting the two sides who are now down in the tunnel below us, and they'll be on their way very shortly. So final thought, you'd still be disappointed if you're Sheffield United if you don't win this one tonight.
I would think so. I think they're the side that's in the ascendancy. But what happens sometimes when you get a new manager, you get that lift and you get that little bit of change, and that's the beauty of football. So that might just be the leveler tonight.
What do you reckon, Nigel?
I think it will be very tough for Sheffield Wednesday. You look at the players they don't have unavailable to them, and I think that's the heart of their team. And Lahuka, I think, will set his team out to try and frustrate tonight. But I think if Sheffield United get the early goal, it could get very ugly for the blue and half.
I've seen it also so many times in this division, though. You know, as you said, that we're halfway through January now. The next 6 weeks are absolutely key to this division. Always have been. Can suddenly propel yourself within touching distance of a playoff place, still with plenty to play for. You can find yourself suddenly struggling even more, going on a second bad run in the season, and you're suddenly worrying about dropping out of the league. It is absolutely key for me to start from here after the first third-round FA Cup action that we've seen, to get it right tonight. No mistakes in the derby at all. You can hear the roar as the fans can see on the monitors around the ground now that everybody are waiting. The two teams, here they come. Sheffield Wednesday visiting Brammell Lane and Sheffield United, and the action is next on TalkSport.
Football inspires devotion, drama and dedication. Sky Sports Football is dedicated to bringing you live games from all around the world, including the EFL, SPFL, La Liga, the Carabao Cup and more. You can keep up to date with Sky.
Or Sheffield United going for the 3-5-2. Liam Clark and former player Donaldson from Brentford also played at Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday go in for a 5-3-2. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday are 15 points worse off after 20 league matches this season. The Owls have 30 so far, gained 45 at this stage last year, and Sheffield United have not done the league double over their Still City rivals since winning 1-0 at Brammell Lane and 2-1 at Hillsborough under Neil Warnock, the last season in which they won promotion to the Premier League. You'll hear the audio. It must be ready for kickoff now.
Obviously, in bragging rights, massive 3 points at stake. But it's all about the performance. It's all about the pride from your supporters to be able to go home and think your team's given absolutely everything for the cause. Because what you don't want to do is leave anything out there and disappoint yourselves in such a big game. And the players will know that.
Well, Carl Walker, a £50 million fullback, was just one of the people calling up Chris Wilder this week to try and tap him up for tickets. The last time these two sides met here on a Friday night, Kyle Walker was a 19-year-old making his way in the Sheffield United team. Up against him on that evening was a 35-year-old called Mickey Gray, who was at the other end of his career. On that night, Sheffield United won by 3-2, and as both teams convened for their pre-match huddles, they are firm favourites to win this game here again this evening. Currently 7th in the table, a point outside the playoffs. Wednesday currently 16th in the championship, and now only 6 points above the relegation zone. David Coote is our referee. He was in charge of Sheffield United's defeat here against Bristol City back in December. And it's the home team, Sheffield United, who get us off and underway. The perfect way to start your football weekend. The EFL on Friday nights here on TalkSport. The Steel City Derby underway for the 142nd time. And it's Sheffield United in their red and white stripes, black shorts and black socks, playing from right to left with that huge cavernous Kop end away to our right-hand side behind them. And Sheffield Wednesday in their blue shirts with white sleeves, white shorts and white socks. And was your pre-match hunch about the team selection for Wednesday justified?
Yeah, it seems that way. But I just think at this moment in time that I think, you know, United are trying to put the ball in behind. They've gone up and pressed Sheffield Wednesday, but they've stood firm. They've denied the space in behind, and they're making it difficult for United right from the off. And we thought that might happen.
Well, United have 49 victories, Wednesday 48, with 44 draws, so it could not be closer. As United look to come forward on this near side with Fleck, wide towards Duffy on the left-hand side, infield towards Clayton Donaldson, but snapping in with a challenge was Jones, and now reach the left-sided midfield player, will try and bring the ball forward. He was being harried by Fleck, and in the end he managed to get it forward towards João on the far side, but sliding in to clear was Basham for United, up towards the halfway line, flicked on by Donaldson, into the feet of Clark, and now Fleck plays it forward, looking for Donaldson again on the far side, the right, sliding in to make the challenge was Pudel, and it will be a throw to Sheffield United, and they're looking to set a very quick tempo here. Wide on the far side, it's into the feet of Duffy on the right corner of the penalty area, and now a low ball in towards that near post area, which was very quickly delivered by Baldock and hacked behind by Pudel, high into those Wednesday finds behind that goal for a corner. Yeah, high energy start from Sheffield United, exactly what we expected from them. Just looking at this Sheffield Wednesday side, I think I'm wrong here. I think we've gone to a back five. Both wing backs dropping in to make a five there and denying the space in front. They've got the three in midfield, and João drops in to make the extra body when they've not got it. But Sheffield United definitely in the ascendancy here. 2 minutes played at Brammell Lane on Talk Sport. The only place to hear the Steel City derby on national radio here on Talk Sport. Fleck with a corner, high into the penalty area, nodded away by Rhodes. Volley back with Lundstrom, and it's looping onto the roof of the netting. And a back-pedalling Wildsmith, very relieved to see that ball go just too high.
It was
wow,
well
what an
over.
effort. What an effort from Lundstrom. I mean, that's superb technique. That's dropping over his shoulder. He's running away from goal, and he manages to dip and volley that back onto the roof of the net from fully, what, 20 yards? Fantastic strike. Hope that's a measure of things to come.
Well, the first meeting between these two sides, April 1891, in a Charity Cup game which Wednesday won by 2-1. But they've only had one win here in their last 14 visits across the city, and that was back in February 2009 when Leon Clark, the United captain this evening, was leading the line for Sheffield Wednesday. Had 3 fairly undistinguished years at Hillsborough, and in his final game, a relegation decider against Crystal Palace, he scored an equalising goal and then broke his foot in the celebrations and very quickly moved on once Wednesday went down. As Stevens clips the ball in from the left-hand side, cleared away by Louvens on the edge of the penalty area, the Dutchman. Of course, Wednesday now under the Dutch managership of Jos Luhukai, and he's currently standing pensively on the edge of his technical area beneath us. Duffy with a high ball into the penalty area, and it was aimed at the far post for Baldock, who was arriving behind everybody, and he almost got there before the ball missed his kick unmarked, and it scrambled away for a throw into United on the far side.
Wow, I don't know what Poodle's doing there, but he just ducks and lets that cross come into the box, and it's nearly an opening for Sheffield United. But every second ball Sheffield United are picking up. They're really under the cosh here Wednesday. 4 minutes played, 0-0. And the game has been played almost exclusively in the Sheffield Wednesday half, away to our left-hand side. As O'Connell comes forward, his low cross in from the left-hand side, his volley cleared by Louvens. Jones now tries to find Reach, who does well to ride a challenge and work it further wide to the Welshman Fox, who steps in field and then invites the tackle from Baldock, who comes in, ricochets the ball off Fox, and very quickly Fleck plays the long ball forward for United, and it's taken down superbly by Clayton Donaldson on this near side, but he just run out of room in a confined area, and it will be a throw-in to Sheffield Wednesday, who have barely taken a breath so far. Yeah, I mean, if you could liken this to a boxer taking an early punch in the first round, they look a little bit punch-drunk here, Sheffield Wednesday. They need to gather the thoughts and gather the shape and try and put some sustained pressure on United, because at this moment in time, there's only going to be one outcome. Well, barely a seat to be had here inside Brammell Lane. It's a fairly mild evening for early January. The Kop is absolutely packed, and the only empty areas of red seats are in the segregated parts above and behind the Sheffield Wednesday supporters in the Brammell Lane stand away to our right-hand side, which is double-deckered, has United fans on the top, Wednesday fans on the bottom, so unsurprisingly there is plenty of netting around to keep the two sections apart. It's a throw-in for United on this near side, 0-0 so far, but the home team have been in the ascendancy. Palmer heads it forward, looking for João for Wednesday. It's cut out though by Duffy, who then skips it back towards the back three, and Basham, who can basically play anywhere down the right-hand side, now moves forward from the central defensive area into midfield, and it's laid forward by Lundstrom. He continues his run to receive the pass from Baldock, fizzes one in towards the penalty area, and it's gone beyond the near post behind for a goal kick. Yeah, just look at Sheffield Wednesday's back five, Nigel, and even though the wing backs are dropped right in to try and deny the space down the sides, United are getting in there time and time again and whipping balls across this box. There needs to be a little bit more urgency to stop that ball coming in the box from Wednesday. Well, at the moment, it has been pretty much one-way traffic here at Brammell Lane as Wildsmith clears downfield. Kieran Westwood, the regular #1 goalkeeper, still out with a broken rib. And the likes of Westwood, Fletcher, Bannon, Lee, Hooper and Lees all unavailable for Sheffield Wednesday, and it was a criticism of Carlos Carvajal that he talked more about his injured players than the ones out on the field during the final weeks of his time at Hillsborough. But it's been a mounting injury list all season, and it's one that Jos Luhukai will have to deal with right from the very start. And he's got a couple of youngsters, Sean Clark and Jordan Thornley, on the bench this evening, and it's their first appearance in the matchday 18. But Wednesday
now have a throw-in on the far side, and it's into the feet of Reach,
Sheffield
out on the
Wednesday
left-hand
supporter
side, and now
in
Pudel drives across in João, shaping for the header, cleared away as far as Palmer, inside the penalty area, fires it across the face of goal, and it's ricocheted behind off Fleck, behind for a Wednesday corner.
Yeah, much better from Wednesday. Set up for a long throw, and to be fair, reaches Johnny on the spot, and he comes and plays short, works an opening to cross. It's a great ball in the box, and I'd just like to see Palmer go and attack that. He's almost waiting for the cross to drop. And Wednesday keep the ball alive ever so well, but Sheffield United managed to block and clear for a corner.
And it's a Wednesday corner down this near side, their right. And only Donaldson is forward now for Sheffield United. It's a high, deep one, looking for Pudel at the far post, but it's drifted beyond the forehead of the Czech international and away on the far side for a throw-in at the Cop end for Sheffield United. And these two sides have usually met in the top two divisions of English football. The only time that wasn't the case was when they were both down in Division 3 back in 1979, and also in 2011 when Wednesday caught United out right at the end of the season to an automatic promotion. United then lost in the playoffs to Huddersfield, and it was a long wait for Sheffield United to make their way back into the Championship as Donaldson chases one on the far side, and it's nodded away by Louvens, who has a really important role at the heart of the Sheffield Wednesday defence. He's got Venâncio on one side, who has not played too much football, and the same goes for Pudel on the other. As Donaldson peels away to the far side, looks to clip the ball low into the penalty area, and it takes a deflection off Pudel and goes behind for another corner to United.
Yeah, again, Nigel, too easy to work the ball into a crossing position for Sheffield United. I just think that Wednesday have got to work far, far harder to stop that ball coming in the box. Forces another corner for United, but typical example there of United, how they contest every ball, everything that's played forward. Nothing's a poor ball. They chase absolutely everything down, and they force the error.
And Fleck will take the corner on the far side. Plenty of movement. It's low in towards that near post area. It was aimed for Basham, who tried to sweep the ball in on the half volley but completely missed it. And Wednesday will clear, and there's a problem for Wallace inside the Sheffield Wednesday half, but he's back on his feet and now back in the action. As Simon Moore, wearing all yellow, defending the goal away to our right-hand side, looks to clear long downfield for United. 0-0 here in the opening stages at Brammell Lane on TalkSport, the home of the EFL, and this one of our 500 games across TalkSport and TalkSport 2 throughout the season, culminating in the World Cup in Russia starting in June. As Palmer throws it long downfield for Sheffield Wednesday, United will clear, and it's very quickly gathered by Jos Luhukai, who was known as the Little General during his brief time at Stuttgart in the Bundesliga 2.
72%.
And he was out of management from September 2016 until earlier this week, but he said he turned down a number of jobs in Germany. He was looking for a new challenge, but judging by the comments from Daifon Chansiri, the owner of Sheffield Wednesday, he said he's got the philosophy that suits us now, which doesn't really suggest to be around for too long.
No, I mean, it's indicative of the game, isn't it? As it is at the moment, the landscape's changing and managers are expected to produce instant success, and it's a massive club, Wednesday.
A massive club which has languished outside the Premier League since 1999, and of course has had two spells down in the third tier of English football as well, but they've done well here in the last few moments. Nearly 11 minutes played at Brammell Lane, and they've almost ridden the punch of
outside the
breathtaking start from Sheffield United. It's cleared long downfield by Wildsmith once again. Rising to head clear is O'Connell for United, but it's gathered by Wallace, who scampers down the right-hand side for Wednesday until he's held up by O'Connell once again. But it's Venâncio who plays a long diagonal ball across the field from right to left, and it's flicked on looking for Lucas João, who was up front alongside Jordan Rhodes this evening. United clear, but it's very quickly returned downfield by Pudel once again, and the bout of head tennis right across the field is ended by a foul by Rhodes on O'Connell, and it will be a free kick to Sheffield United. Yeah, a lot better from Sheffield Wednesday, though. They're starting to contest things. This is what they've got to do. You know, they can't let United have their own way with the skirmishes and the scraps in midfield, and they look better for it. But this opening period is important for Sheffield Wednesday, that they don't concede, that they keep a clean sheet and make it difficult for United. United will be taking confidence from this start, without a doubt. And it's a throw-in for the visitors out on the far side, who have come into this game with only one win in their last 11, and that came at Forest, 3-0 on Boxing Day, a couple of days after Carlos Carvajal had been dispensed with, and Lee Bullen was in charge of that, and it seemed to be a turning point possibly, but it turned out to be a dead end with subsequent defeats away to Brentford and at home to Burton, and they drew 0-0 at League Two Carlisle in the FA Cup last Saturday, and that game will be replayed in the midweek. As Wednesday give the ball away in a dangerous area. Here is Donaldson wide towards this near side, and Fleck everything to his left hand side, including Duffy. Also has support from O'Connell, but then rides the challenge of Reach and finds O'Connell, and it's further wide towards the Irishman Stevens on this near side. O'Connell once again, as the red and white shirts look to mass inside the area, he finds Duffy, who flicks it forward looking for Fleck, and it's scrambled away by Wallace, and it will be a throw-in to Sheffield United. It's quickly taken by Stevens, who bobs and weaves into the penalty area, lays it right across the 6-yard area behind everybody, and Fox will be able to clear.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at the balance of that Sheffield Wednesday midfield, Nigel, and you can't play with two, well, so-called wingers in there, Reach and Wallace. You know, you're asking them to do things that's foreign to the nature, and Jones is getting overrun in there, and you know, they're having the run of things as Lundstrom, Duffy and Fleck. It's right up their street, and they're dictating things at this moment in time. 13
minutes played, 0-0, and TalkSport has teamed up with Sky Sports to tell you all about the dedicated Sky Sports football channel, with football from around the globe, including the EFL, SPFL, La Liga and more. Feel it all in 2018 with Sky Sports. As Fleck plays it forward for Sheffield United, wide to this near side, plays the 1-2 with Clark, and here is O'Connell joining in, one of the three central defenders once again. Stevens down the right-hand side, finding Fleck, and it's cut out by Palmer, who was back in the Wednesday side as a right-back this evening. He was converted from a central midfielder by Dave Jones earlier in his career. Stevens swings a high cross in again, but it's beyond both Clark and Donaldson, and Fox, pressurised on the far side by Bulldog, slices the ball into his own supporters behind that goal to concede another United corner.
Yeah, brilliant by Bulldog, put him under pressure tremendously well, and Fox slices it out for a corner. But how easy is it for Basham to put that ball, the cross coming in the box? It's far too easy. You know, they've got to stop balls coming in the box Wednesday.
Well, there was no pressure from the midfield at all. And those three central defenders are strolling around, aren't they?
Absolutely not. Well, they're playing more like midfield players. You know, they've got the freedom of the park.
Short corner on the far side between Duffy and Fleck. Duffy now finds Fleck on the right corner of the penalty area. It's a low reverse ball in, looking for Bulldog, but it was well read by Reach, who now clears downfield, looking for João on the far side, but coming across to just hoof the ball into the crowd is Basham, and it will be a throw-in to Sheffield Wednesday
don't seem to work
on the far side. We talked about Wednesday's problems. Of course, Sheffield United had such a great start to the season, 11 wins and 4 losses, and that included that win at Hillsborough, and also successes at home to Wolves and away to Leeds. They were top of the table at the end of October, then they lost 5-4 at home to Fulham in that remarkable game when both Leon Clark and Ryan Sessegnon scored hat-tricks, and since then 1 win, 3 draws and 5 defeats, and they lost here against Bolton and also drew against Birmingham at a time when Birmingham were not picking up points anywhere else. So it's remarkable how one injury, the injury to Coote, destabilised a whole team.
I just think he's a talisman, he's a leader, you know, and he's obviously very influential in that dressing room as well, and the players have missed him, but they've rallied quite well. You know, they've got this spirit, and you can definitely see it here tonight.
Pudil under pressure from Basham, who was up inside the penalty area once again, just booms the ball away into the John Street stand on the far side, and it will be another throw in to Sheffield United. And this entire starting 11 for the Blades is made up of British and Irish players, and Chris Wilder has signed 3 more British players in the week, so clearly he likes to shop relatively locally, as O'Connell plays it forward towards Clark, who controls it well with his back to goal. A really powerful specimen on this near side. Now into the feet of Stevens on the edge of the penalty area, and it's played forward again by O'Connell, but Clark had just drifted offside, and it will be a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, a great bit of play though. Lovely build-up play, and Clark making that third man run, receiving the box, but just went slightly early to go offside. But they are definitely finding the rhythm here, Sheffield United. The only good thing I would say from Sheffield Wednesday is it's still 0-0. You know, while it's 0-0, there's that little bit of pressure on United to get the noses in front.
17 minutes played. Goalless at Brammell Lane tomorrow. Matchday Live with Ian Dante sitting in for Adrian Durham. Will be live from the Hawthorns on TalkSport. The commentary live and exclusive from the Premier League to national radio at 5:30 will be Tottenham against Everton. There's a double header first of all on TalkSport 2 at 12:30. A big game at the top and bottom of the Championship. Cardiff against Sunderland. And then at 3 o'clock from the Premier League, a big game at the bottom there as well. It's Newcastle against Swansea. And the Sunday exclusive will be live from Dean Court. And it's a big game for Arsenal after what's happened in the past few weeks away to Bournemouth. As Wednesday look to break now with Wallace down the centre, everything to his right-hand side, including Palmer, who now drives the cross in. Rhodes with a header glancing some way wide of the far post.
Yeah, great technician in front of goal, Gordon Rhodes, and it's a good ball in from Palmer. Just peels away from Basham and manages to steer a header towards goal, and he's unlucky there, Rhodes. Wouldn't you just believe it? Wenzel could go up and score against the run of play. It happens in a game, and like I say, while it's 0-0, there's always that threat.
Well, Jordan Rhodes, as we've seen in the Championship over many years, does possess that goal threat, but he's often at his best with somebody alongside him who's maybe a bit more substantial in terms of physicality than Lucas João.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs that physical presence up there with him, because he likes to play on the last man. He likes to get in behind. He likes to make these little runs and ghost in behind defenders. And if he's that lone striker, that target that Wednesday's got to hit, then he's often occupied.
And you do wonder in the long term if he might be Jos Luhukai's sort of player in terms of what he can give the team if he's not scoring goals. And Basham is allowed to run away from him here. He plays it forward down the right-hand side, looking for the run of Clayton Donaldson just beyond him, and it's gathered by Joe Wildsmith. 19 minutes played in the Steel City derby here on TalkSport, and it's still goalless at the start of another massive weekend of football across TalkSport and TalkSport 2. And we have some very big games coming up on Friday nights as well, not least next Friday we'll be at Pride Park for Derby County, currently second in the table at home to Bristol City. But it's all about events here in Sheffield this evening, as Wednesday have a throw-in level with the edge of the United penalty area on the far side there left. Fox will take it, and he's looking for movement. He finds it from Rhodes, and Rhodes does the right thing. He makes the run towards the near post area, glances the ball on, and there's no blue shirt within 15 yards of the ball.
Well, it's actually a great deft little header into a dangerous area, but you look at Sheffield Wednesday, there's no support. There's no support from midfield, nobody gambling on, and again you've got to ask questions about the balance of the midfield.
Well, they have struggled with a collective lack of pace all season because they just have players who aren't quick.
Well, I think if you look at them tonight, technically, yeah, I get it. You know, they've got a decent shape, to be fair to the new guy. But yeah, I mean, just that desire to get up beyond the front. You look at Sheffield United, totally the opposite. It's all about energy and desire and people prepared to run forward and get past the front. Total opposites.
O'Connell's long ball forward, looking for Clark again, and both Clark and Donaldson are showing the necessary mobility, pulling wide when they have to, and they're up against three central defenders, but they are certainly not a static challenge for Sheffield Wednesday so far. Nearly 21 minutes played on TalkSport, still 0-0. But every second ball, it seems, every 50-50 has been won by Sheffield United, who come forward again with O'Connell down this near side the left, on towards Stevens, and now Clark again in the wide area, a low ball into the penalty area, looking for O'Connell, who made the charge forward, but his run was tracked by Wallace, and it rebounds behind off him for another corner.
Do you know what? Well done, Ross Wallace. Not renowned for being a defender, but he didn't half track well there, and he needed to, because it was good play again by Sheffield United, but again United forced the corner.
And the blonde-haired Mark Duffy will take it on this near side, the left for Sheffield United, in towards the near post area. Disappointing corner from him though, headed away unchallenged by Lucas João. And here is Stevens, wide towards Fleck on this near side again. And Stevens has time to play a long diagonal ball up towards the edge of the penalty area. Fox allows the ball to bounce, so too does O'Connell, and it rebounds into the stand on the far side for a throw-in to Sheffield Wednesday. And Jos Luhukai does have a a very good managerial CV, promoted from Bundesliga 2 with Augsburg, Hertha Berlin and Borussia Mönchengladbach. He revived a couple of big names there, and he laid the foundations at Stuttgart before falling out with people and leaving earlier on in the season, which turned out to be a promotion success for the club. But he's, as he said himself, in Sheffield in England, no one knows who he is, which may be to his advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair to him as well, you can't judge him on one game, and you know. But this is a massive game, as daft as it seems, and people will judge. You know, it's a massive game, and the people of Sheffield, they'll want the bragging rights on come Monday morning.
And he can only work with what he has, which at the moment is a fairly weak hand.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, to be fair to him, he's organised them quite well tonight. It's a back four. It's definitely a back five, because they've been pushed back to a back five. They look a little bit lightweight in midfield, a little bit milky in there.
Well, Pudil has gone down under the challenge of Donaldson on the far side, and he's got the free kick for Sheffield Wednesday in a dangerous area. Looked a bit of a soft one, but they do have players, the likes of Reach and Wallace, who can deliver a decent set piece.
Yeah, it's a good position, this. There's a nice angle on it as well to get a ball into the box. See what they've done in that short space of time on the training ground as regards routines.
23 minutes played at Brammell Lane in Sheffield, and it's 0-0 in the Steel City derby on TalkSport. Jones and Wallace are over the free kick for Sheffield Wednesday. Jones now makes his way towards the edge of the penalty area, and it's the Scot, Ross Wallace, who will take it high towards the far post. Nodded away though down to this near side, where it's controlled by Fox. Back to Palmer, a high angle ball in from him. It's nodded down by Rhodes again, but outside the penalty area, and Duffy will try and start the breakaway for Wednesday, for United rather, up towards Donaldson, who is caught midway inside the Wednesday half by Glenn Louvens, who will receive the game's first yellow card.
Yeah, it's a give me for the referee. That's such an easy decision to give. Fantastic movement from Donaldson. He run from one part of the penalty area right across the pitch to make that channel run for Duffy, who slid a great ball down the channel. But Louvens only had one thing on his mind: to give Donaldson a little bit of a derby taste, and that is exactly what he's got.
Well, Louvens, who is the most experienced and on form, the most able of the three central defenders for Sheffield Wednesday, will now have to manage a yellow card for the last 65 minutes or so of the game. And in fairness to David Coote, the referee, when we were here for the Bristol City game, he did allow a couple of things to go and tried to allow the game to flow, but when Fleck went in with 2 feet, he had to send him off. The free kick is headed away by João on the edge of the 6-yard area. Wallace then challenges Stevens, and the ball rebounds wide to the far side again, and Fleck, who can bring it in field and find Lundstrom, who's had the game's best effort so far. A dipping volley just over the crossbar. Stevens down the left into the feet of Clark, back towards Stevens again, who has an option wide of him but goes in field towards Clark. Stevens continues his run, and it's cleared away by Fox up towards the halfway line, but it will come back very quickly. Fleck finding O'Connell, and now down the line for Clark again, who holds off Palmer, but Palmer does well to reach around Leon Clark and get a foot in, and Wednesday will clear, but the downward header from Reach doesn't find Rhodes, and the red and white stripes quickly win it back. Fleck plays it forward early, looking for Donaldson, and it's an overhead kick by Venâncio on the edge of the penalty area. Duffy then tries a volley, which is completely missed kick. Venâncio slices it high into the sky on the edge of the penalty area, and it's all gone a bit scrappy. And then Reach booms it forward 60 yards. João will chase up towards the edge of the penalty area, but in the end Simon Moore was always the favourite to win that, and João, I think, knew it and pulled out of the challenge.
Do you know what? I've forgotten João will play. You know, he hasn't really had a kick at all, and you know, in a game like this you can't carry anybody. You need absolutely everybody at it.
Well, Louvens pressurised by Donaldson once again, and he must have seen him lumbering towards him, and he just knocks it straight out of play on this near side for a throw-in to United. It's played forward quickly by Fleck, but cut out well by Palmer. Here is Wallace now for Wednesday, up towards the halfway line, just beneath us here down the right-hand side. A long raking ball out towards the left, where it's controlled neatly by Fox. Infield towards Rhodes, midway inside the United half. Back again towards Jones, and wide towards the far side again, and Reach Reach has Fox to find Rhodes on the edge of the penalty area. Rhodes tries to bob and weave around the corner, but his ball in the end, which may have been intended for Fox, may not have been, bobbled straight out of play by the corner flag for a throw-in. And Jordan Rhodes is not going to get any sort of joy playing that wide out there.
No, you just look, I mean, really, it's diluting his game. You know, you want
killing his game.
Yeah, you want him on the last man and with the quality of service down the sides to get him in front of goal. And you look, they lack real athleticism Wednesday. You know, real pace to go and hurt people in behind. It's sort of, it's an okay performance, but is it going to win this derby game? I'm not sure.
Well, he's a fox in the box, Jordan Rhodes, isn't he? He's 27. He's been around long enough for people to know what his strengths are.
Yeah, exactly. But he needs the service. There's no point in having him running the channels and holding the ball up and having him occupy with defenders. You need him free. You know, you need him free in good areas, and he's not doing that at this moment in time.
Good noise inside the ground at the moment. 27 minutes played, and it's still 0-0 here on TalkSport. Don't forget, we have FA Cup replays coming up on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and there'll be blanket coverage of the fourth round weekend in a couple of weeks. As O'Connell comes forward now, infield towards Stearman. Stearman's got plenty of time to assess his options and play it wide to the right-hand side, where it's worked further on, looking for Fleck, but as Lundstrom looked to play the ball in field, both he and Bulldog just run the ball out of play, and it will be a throw-in to Sheffield Wednesday. And they've almost got to the half hour without any real damage, and you've got to say that Wildsmith has not really had a save to make.
No, he hasn't. I mean, that is the only thing, or the point I was going to come to, is that for all the good play that they've had, and they have had some good play, and they have been dominant, and they have been physical with Wednesday, they haven't created a great deal. You know, the best effort has been, you know, an acrobatic effort really, from Lundstrom, that volley with his left foot, but other than that, there hasn't been much else.
And now Palmer bobbing and weaving infield from the right-hand side. He's found Reach, and the shot was deflected. Here is João on the edge of the penalty area. Turns neatly, tries a right-footed chip, and a back-pedalling Simon Moore just guides the ball onto the roof of the netting.
Well, you know what? Right idea, and probably his first main contribution in this game, Lucas João. But it's great feet, works an angle, spots the keeper off his line and just tries to lift it over him from the edge of the box. But I think the keeper had it covered, to be fair.
Simon Moore, the former Bristol City man, has ousted Jamal Blackman as the #1 goalkeeper currently at Brammell Lane, the player on loan from Chelsea, who was brought in for that defeat at home to Bristol City, which we covered here on TalkSport, as United again run the ball out of play on the far side. It's Bulldog once again, and it will be a throw-in for Sheffield Wednesday.
I tell you what, Nige, there's just signs here that United are looking a little bit tatty. You know, the passing, they've overrun it a couple of times, they've run it out of play. You know, they might have done half a job here, Sheffield Wednesday.
Is that too much adrenaline, maybe?
Yeah, listen, they've been up for it. They've been the best side by a country mile. But to be fair to Wednesday, they've kept the shape, they've stuck to the guns, they've cut the passing lines off it to the front quite well, Sheffield Wednesday. They haven't really offered a threat, but they've nullified this Sheffield United side a little bit, and that'll be of concern to Chris Wilder.
Well, Chris Wilder knows all about the Steel City derbies. He watched them as a fan. He also played in them as a player, and he was part of the Dave Bassett team, which rose from the third tier into the top tier of English football at the end of the 1980s and 1990s, and then stayed here for 4 years, and they were founder members of the Premier League. And Chris Wilder is looking to emulate one of the men he points out as a real influence in his career. As Reach plays it back towards Louvens, the one player on a yellow card so far. Back towards Reach again, who was a very tidy player and does give natural balance, as he is left-footed, but he's often at his best playing in a defensive position in the wide areas, not the role he is playing tonight in the central of midfield.
Yeah, just look at United as well. A little bit of the heat has gone out of their press. Put a lot of effort into this first 30 minutes.
Here is Fleck, though, controls the ball neatly, plays the 1-2 with Duffy, and Fleck now looks to burst into the Wednesday half, wide to the far side, and Bulldog, and Fox goes to ground and makes the challenge, and then sliding in to try and win it back was Wallace. And despite his appeals from a prone position, the ball spins out of play on the far side, and it will be a throw into Sheffield United.
Yeah, he's impressed me so far tonight, Wallace. He's up for this, you know, he's up for the scrap. We know about his ability. but he's doing the ugly stuff well.
And it's blocked on the far side by Fox again, and it will be another throw-in to United. And of course Ross Wallace has been at clubs like Celtic and Sunderland, and they're all about derbies, as Venâncio heads the ball away inside the 6-yard area. A dangerous cross in from the right-hand side. Rhodes then controls, plays it long downfield. João will chase, but he was almost third favourite there behind Stearman and O'Connell, and eventually the pair of them combined to smuggle the ball back towards Simon Moore.
Yeah, I'll just look at that. That's a prime example there now. Just look at the difference between energy of Sheffield United's front two and João chasing that down. You know, you don't actually believe he's going to go and get it, and that's a problem for Wednesday.
Here is Jack O'Connell on this near side into the feet of Donaldson, who seemed to just have a clash there with Jones as he knocked it back towards O'Connell. Here is Duffy finding Fleck again, and wide towards Duffy on this near side. Tries to shuffle into position, but again it's Wallace who makes the challenge. Fox then comes in to try and win it back, and Duffy goes to ground, and he's got the free kick not too far from the Wednesday technical area, and Jos Luhukai doesn't look too impressed.
No, I'm not too sure about that one, Nigel. You know, I think he'd lost it there, Duffy, and Sheffield Wednesday did well to gang up on him. You know, Ross Wallace is definitely up for this. I thought he won the ball fair there, but the referee thought otherwise.
And he then kicks the ball out of play, and in other circumstances could have received a yellow card. But Fleck is over the free kick, which is wide on this near side, the left. 12 minutes to play in the first half on TalkSport, the home of the EFL, and it's still goalless in the Steel City derby. Fleck's free kick headed away by Venâncio, and the delivery from set pieces has not been good enough for Sheffield United so far. Now it's played forward by Jones, looking for reach. It's flicked infield for João, who shows good strength this time to ride a challenge and find reach in his preferred area, wide on the left-hand side, back towards Fox. And now Leuven's in the central area, just inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. It's wide to the far side again. Fox will just have to check back and keep it in play. And Wednesday keeping the ball, but it's all a bit laboured, all a bit ponderous, and they're not really going anywhere.
No, they're not. It's in front of United.
But here's a good ball forward from Wallace to try and release João out on the far side, the left, and not for the first time a player in the wide area runs out of play. João then squares up to Baldock on the far side, and the referee will call both players over for a word.
Yeah, it looks like handbags at dawn, to be fair. Something and nothing, but I just think João needs to liven up. You know, I mean, you can run about, close down, call it what you want, but give that energy. I look at the rest of his teammates, they're really putting a shift in. And what that ball can't do when it goes up front is come back cheap. And apart from Rhodes, who's battling up there manfully, I don't think João's given them too much so far.
And we were all at Hillsborough before Christmas for the defeat to Wolves for Sheffield Wednesday. Are we seeing a different Wednesday tonight under new management?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a little bit more organisation to them. They look more structured. They seem to know where they're going when they've won it, which is a good thing. You know, they've got a game plan to it. But I think it's more Sheffield United not having that cutting edge than Sheffield Wednesday, you know, being the real deal, to be honest with you. I think that there's just a little bit of uncertainty about United's play as well as the playing.
O'Connell finding Duffy on this near side, but a good challenge from Palmer. Well, he's been penalised, although Duffy did go to ground, but Palmer didn't seem to get the ball.
Yeah, it was definitely a Derby Day challenge.
Well, Duffy's taking the free kick quickly, but David Coote, the referee, was still having words with Liam Palmer. And the free kick will have to be retaken, but I think the Sheffield Wednesday right back maybe slightly harshly treated there. 9.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Yeah, I tell you what, I like Duffy, you know. He's a little terrier, and he's what derbies are made of. He goes after absolutely everything in midfield.
Well, he came through non-league football. Played for Vauxhall Motors. A high ball in from Fleck from the free kick, nodded up in the air by João, and nodded towards goal now. Leuven's with a second header away, and then it's volleyed back through the crowd by Baldock, and eventually the flag goes up for offside against Sheffield United as the ball bobbled around the penalty area, and it's a free kick to Wednesday.
Yeah, you have to say that's quite a good defensive line by Sheffield Wednesday. They didn't drop too deep right into their own 6-yard box. They held the line, and managed to get the offside because of it.
And if you're a manager going into a club that's low on confidence, is that the first thing you work on?
Well, look, you've got to try and keep things tight. You've got to tighten things up. I mean, if they can get a clean sheet tonight, then they come away with a point, Sheffield Wednesday. And you start, you know, you build it from small and you add the attacking bits. But they look more organised, Sheffield Wednesday tonight.
Stearman finding O'Connell, another long ball forward for United, rising to head clear was Louvens, and reach with a back pass right down the centre of the field, not too far away from Leon Clark, but he found Wildsmith, and his long clearance finds João, who does well. Good strength from him again with his back to goal, tries to release Reach on the far side, sliding in to make the challenge was Baldock. It's then a high ball into the area from Fox, which is cleared. Here is João again, left-hand side of the penalty area. He's got support, but João with a low shot, which just scoots wide of that near post area, and I think Moore had it covered.
Yeah, just seemed to pull it, just seemed to pull his shot there. But I tell you what, 100% better from João, where he held the ball up there and shoved and pushed. That's what Wednesday need from the big man. And it just freed Jordan Rhodes up, if you look. Made a great little deft run down the side, but better from Wednesday. They need to offer a threat, because if they don't, then obviously the Sheffield United side is going to come onto them.
Moore with the goal kick. Challenging for it is Donaldson, who does well to beat Jones in the air, but he's not been able to link up too much with Leon Clark so far tonight, and it's cleared away by Pudel. And here is João again, who is providing a bit more mobility for Sheffield Wednesday, mainly to the left-hand side, but it's a poor ball from him right across the heart of the field, and it's intercepted by Stevens down the left. Infield towards Lundstrom. United moving forward here with some purpose. Duffy back towards Basham on the far side, the right, and now Duffy again, who is looking for options as he spins infield and finds Lundstrom, who really was brought in to replace Paul Coote at the heart of midfield. Wide again to this near side again from Fleck to find O'Connell. Now Stevens down the left-hand side. Palmer again going to ground to make the challenge, and I think, if anything, that was more of a foul than the previous one, but he got away with it. And now Palmer has found Reach, and it's wide towards João. On the far side, the left. Wallace to his outside to the left. Here is Wallace, who fires the ball in, and it's wide of the near post, but much more like it from Sheffield Wednesday there. A break with some promise, but Wallace unable to supply the finish.
Yeah, it was a great break from Wednesday, but I'm not sure that was the ball that Wallace wanted from João. Just slightly played him a little bit wider than he needed to, or he had to do. He could have rolled him a little bit nearer to the goal, and it became a difficult angle for him, but fantastic break.
Well, that's a cue for the Wednesday fans to remind us that they're here inside Brammell Lane tonight with 6 minutes to play in the first half, and it's still Sheffield United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0 here on TalkSport. And we continue our coverage of the Championship tomorrow on TalkSport 2 at 12:30 with commentary of Cardiff against Sunderland. In the Premier League at 3 o'clock on TalkSport 2, it's Newcastle against Swansea. Matchday Live will be here on TalkSport around the grounds with Ian Danter before commentary with Sam Matterface at 5:30 on Tottenham against Everton. And Bournemouth against Arsenal is our main game in the Sunday exclusive with Sags. Lundstrom with a high ball clipped down the line on the right-hand side. Rising to head clear is Pudel, and then it's flicked away by Reach, but Reach have been doing some pushing on Basham, and it will be another free kick to Sheffield United, and so far that's been the one area of the game which has really let them down.
Yeah, it has. It's a silly free kick for Sheffield Wednesday to give away, but it's put them again in a good position, good angle on this to get a good ball in. I just get the feeling I like the look of Clark with Sharp up alongside. I'm not sure about Donaldson up there with him.
Duffy's free kick high towards the far post, and rising to try and direct the header towards goal was O'Connell, but it beats him and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Better ball in, a lot better ball in, just got a little bit big, and Sheffield Wednesday see it off, but they'll be pleased with this half, Sheffield Wednesday, because not necessarily with the performance, but the fact that they've kept a clean sheet so far, giving them a chance to get something out of this game.
Well, this is the first half of the Steel City Derby on TalkSport with our EFL charity partner, Prostate Cancer UK. One man is dying of prostate cancer every 45 minutes in the UK. Help us to stop it. Donate £5 by texting TEAM to 70004, and Prostate Cancer UK will send you a badge as a thank you. Standard networker charges also apply, and 100% of your donation will go to Prostate Cancer UK. It's a throw-in for Sheffield United on the far side there, right. And there's been plenty of passion, but not too much shape about this game so far. João on the far side, back towards Fox, who does well to poke the ball in field and find a teammate Jones. And here is Louvens. And Venâncio, the Portuguese player who was brought in by Carlos Carvajal on loan from Vitória Setúbal, plays a long ball downfield again. He was looking for Reach, who had made a decent run from midfield, but it's nodded away as far as Rhodes. And it was the right idea from Rhodes to try and knock it back into a general area where Reach was on the edge of the penalty area, but it's chested away by O'Connell, and it's a throw into Sheffield Wednesday. Now Palmer down the right-hand side, a low ball towards that near post area, and it's hooked clear on the volley by Stearman. But this time it's Wednesday's turn to try and win the second ball, but they don't. And Fleck plays a long ball forward and Donaldson will chase. But it's a chase in vain as Louvens shepherds the ball out of play. And with 3 minutes to go in the first half, Neil, it's a game which hasn't really caught fire so far.
No, it hasn't. I mean, I think you just nailed it right on the head there when you said it's lots of passion, lots of effort, lots of endeavour, but very little shape and format. I think the better bit of players have come from Sheffield United, if I'm honest. But I think, to be fair to credit and give credit to Sheffield Wednesday, they've found their feet. You know, they've got a good shape about them. They're not easy to play against. It's making them difficult to play against. And
well, Rhodes rising there with the arm, and he clouted Ender Stevens on the side of the head, and it's a free kick.
Yeah, and these are the silly free kicks they need to stop giving away, because what it does is it just takes the pressure off. But they'll be looking to get into half-time at 0-0. I'm pretty sure of that at Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, clean sheets have been very hard for them to come by in recent weeks, either under Carlos Carvajal or Lee Bullen, as Fleck pirouettes with a Cruyff turn to evade the challenge of Rhodes, and he charges forward towards the edge of the penalty area, where he is unceremoniously upended by Venâncio, and he'll be the second Wednesday central defender to receive a yellow card.
Fantastic run from Fleck. He's been the game standout player for me, Fleck. I have to say, he's bossed things in midfield. He's given that drive and energy, carried that ball fully, 30 yards, just ducked the challenge, and wins a great free kick at the edge of the box. It's in a great position, this. You know, looking at the likes of Duffy and maybe Lundstrom from this distance. But what Wednesday don't want to do is concede with, 4 or 5 minutes to go till half-time.
Well, this could be the key moment in the first half, and it could change the course of this Steel City derby with just over a minute of normal time to play. And there's a confrontation around the ball. Donaldson and Wallace, a real little and large confrontation. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. The handbags are out once again, and Wallace just trying to disrupt the planning for Sheffield United. The referee is stood 10 yards away, and he's allowing it to happen.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He needs to be careful here, Wallace, because a couple of times there both players raise their arms. You just got to be careful. Well,
Donaldson has eventually gone on the end of the wall. Duffy's over the free kick, so too is Fleck. Lundstrom seemingly acting as a potential decoy. Every single Wednesday blue shirt back defending in their defensive wall. It'll be Duffy with the right foot or Fleck with the left. And in the end, it's Duffy who curls it, and it was always going high and wide.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. You know, you're actually so close to the goal, you've got to get it up and down really quickly, and I don't think there's any space there to do that. You know, he's trying to curl that towards the far corner, and I think, to be honest with you, he'd have been better going for violence and trying to get a ricochet in off a Wednesday player.
We're into a single minute of added time at the end of the first half here on TalkSport. And the sight of the fourth official is the cue for many people to head downstairs. Although after the bitterly cold weather of recent weeks, it's a pleasant change to be stood here tonight and not find the teeth chattering and the toes going numb. Even Sags has put the snooze in the car for once, which is good news for all of us. Here is Reach on the far side. A high ball forward looking for Rhodes, but Stearman steps in to cut out that, and he plays it all the way back towards Simon Moore. And neither goalkeeper has had a shot to save so far, as Venâncio just jumps above Donaldson and wins the header, but it drops to Fleck. And David Coote blows the whistle, and Sheffield Wednesday were under a barrage in the opening 15 minutes or so, but they weathered it well, and the longer the first half went on, the more untidy this game got, the more scruffy it appeared, and that really benefited Josh Luhukai's team in his first game in charge, and as a result, at half-time in the Steel City derby, it is 0-0.
We'll have a word with Neil in just a moment or so, just to give you some of the action coming this weekend as well. As always, fast and furious from start to finish. It's midday for Cardiff against Sunderland on TalkSport 2. Alex Crook is your commentator on that one. We've got a full programme of all of the Premier League and the EFL as well tomorrow. Dance is in the chair. Adrian Durham not feeling quite so well at the moment, so get better well soon, Aid. And Dance will be at West Brom. Round the grounds as the afternoon goes on at 3 o'clock on TalkSport 2. We've got action as you like it as well with the game at Newcastle, and then it's Spurs-Everton at 5:30 with Sam Matterface of the team, and then we're at Bournemouth against Arsenal tomorrow afternoon. Everything else that matters to come as well on TalkSport. It's interesting, having seen Sheffield United now play in their really good patch, then not quite so good, and now struggling a little bit. They were 1 and 2 touch at the beginning of the season. You can just see where they've lost that bit of confidence and taken 3 or 4 touches now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think probably the recent run of results maybe has just ebbed away at the confidence a little bit. You know, there's a little bit of unsurety in the play in the final third. You know, I just adhered to it there nearly at the end. I like the look of Sharp alongside Clark, I have to say. I think it's a better balance, and this is no detriment to Clayton Donaldson, and I think he's put a good shift in tonight, but I think there's more football craft there, and I think there's a little and large combination. I think it works quite well.
You know, both the two front men for Sheffield United, and we'll come and talk about Sheffield Wednesday in a minute, Clark, they were so far away at times as well.
Yeah.
And nowhere near. Neither side's front men have played within the box, have they, at all, really? Which means that they've just not been able to get in those threatening positions in the same.
That's right, yeah. And most of the play that's gone up to both Clark and Donaldson, they've had the back to play.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very rare they've got free where they've got opened up and they're going down the sides of the Sheffield Wednesday defenders. And you've got to give the Wednesday defenders a little bit of credit there as well. But I just look at the balance of the pair of them. I think they look similar. You know, I think Sharp comes and brings something different. He's a little low centre of gravity guy. He's a stocky, strong guy. You know, and he works the box really well. And I just think that balance works better. And at this moment in time, in this particular game, against them defenders, I would look to bring Sharp on.
Yeah. Just as far as Sheffield Wednesday go up front as well, for me, I mean, you and Nigel were saying it in the first half there with Jordan Rhodes. You don't want to see him, again, outside the width of the box, really. But João's been all over the place. What he has done, he's done on his own. He's doesn't look the bravest or the strongest to me tonight, I'm afraid. And watched Rhodes has tried to say to him, look, you can't get yourself detached from me, or else there's nothing I can do about this. And they've had 2 or 3 chances, you know, with nobody inside the box.
Yeah, they have. I mean, a couple of things when Rhodes has cleverly glanced balls across the 6-yard box and nobody's read it. But like you say, I mean, I just look at Jordan Rhodes at this moment in time. Good player, quality player, but he's just diluting himself. Yeah. He's diluting himself, doing all the stuff that he doesn't want to be doing. And from Sheffield Wednesday's point of view as well, they don't want him doing that. I look at Lucas João. I forgot he was playing for 30 minutes. Yeah, no, you know, listen, come on, we've got to be right. I mean, I've forgotten they were out there.
Yep.
And then he showed 1 or 2 little bits with strength and pace.
Yep.
But again, you know, the decision making after it, not really playing together as a pair. You know, more individual stuff and hoping to get something off the cuff. So that'll be something that Josh Luhukay will definitely be looking at half-time.
But to be fair to them, the rest of them have worked really hard for them, and they'll take this all day with another 45 minutes without a goal conceded.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think Ross Wallace has epitomised all the good stuff. You know, we're renowned with him for his flair play and his touch and his balls in the box and his efforts at goal. But he's done all the ugly stuff as well tonight. He's chased back, tracked, he's been diligent. Reach as well in midfield. It's not natural to him. You know, you see him playing wide areas, but they've really doubled up and put a shift in. And I mentioned as well for Jones in midfield at Sat, he has been really disciplined and he's cut the passing line off really well into the front 2. and that is a job that, you know, it's understated, but it's got to be done, and he's done it ever so well tonight.
Well, it's 0-0 here at half-time then on TalkSport tonight. I think the first 10 minutes again, I think you will see Sheffield United go straight at them, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, listen, we're only going to see any real quality when people start getting tired, as daft as it seems.
No,
you know, when the game gets stretched and defenders start making, you know, the wrong decisions. There's still enough quality out there. We've seen glimpses of it from both sides, more from United. I think United will be happy with the performance. You've got to say that. It just looks a little bit tired towards the end of the first half. I think from Wednesday's point of view, they'll be happy for the fact that they've kept a clean sheet and they've looked more organised. So there's a little bit of something there for both sides.
And we're hoping to hear that in the next 45 minutes with Neil and with Nige as well. This is what did happen in those first 45 here at Brammell Lane tonight on TalkSport.
Fleck with a corner, high into the penalty area, nodded away by Rhodes. Volley back with Lundstrom, and it's looping onto the roof of the netting. And a back-pedalling Wildsmith, very relieved to see that ball go just too high. Hudel drives across in, João shaping for the header. Cleared away as far as Palmer, inside the penalty area, fires it across the face of goal, and it's ricocheted behind off Fleck, behind for a Wednesday corner. Wednesday look to break now with Wallace down the centre, everything to his right-hand side, including Palmer, who now drives the cross in. Rhodes with a header glancing some way wide of the far post. Here is João on the edge of the penalty area, turns neatly, tries a right-footed chip, and a back-pedalling Simon Moore just guides the ball onto the roof of the netting. Here is João again, left-hand side of the penalty area. He's got support, but João with a low shot, which just scoots wide of that near post area, and I think Moore had it covered. Now Palmer has found reach, and it's wide towards João. On the far side, the left. Wallace to his outside to the left. Here is Wallace, who fires the ball in, and it's wide of the near post, but much more like it from Sheffield Wednesday there. A break with some promise, but Wallace unable to supply the finish.
The roads have been very, very weak.
Here's Donaldson. Leon Clark in the box, hasn't really had any involvement yet. Hold on. Away from Lucas João. Now Basha. Donaldson able to retrieve, and Fleck. And Stevens. And O'Connell. Clark at the back. Got up there, but flag was up.
And it's offside.
Well, it's a really good defensive line. Sheffield Wednesday to force that offside, keep it alive so well again. Work it to the left-hand side towards O'Connell. Clark, see here, arm in an offside position. Really good discipline by Fox. Poodle looking right across the line. Real trust in that back line.
Discipline, Jos Lukai watchword. It's one that has been possibly most associated with him in the last few days since his appointment.
We've certainly seen it in the performance, and certainly in terms of it point of view, the distances between them has been very, very impressive. You expected a reaction in terms of endeavour, battling qualities, matching Sheffield United stride for stride. They've done that. You can tell the work that has gone on the training ground.
Wednesday on the attack.
It's worth pointing out that in recent seasons, Sheffield Wednesday have twice equalled their club record for clean sheets, so defensive solidity is something you do readily associate with them.
Certainly not this season. It's been a far cry, hasn't it? Only 5 clean sheets, 26 games. It's so easy to play against at times this year. It's been worrying.
Missing from the left.
Poodle's throw. That's Basham away.
Another funny.
Did make tracks forward, but Poodle will hurl it in there again. Away by Stearman. Reach. Cannon kindly for him. The Wednesday players got it cannoned onto Duffy's arm. It's Poodle.
Corner.
He's saying it got a touch. Stearman in close attendance.
He did get a touch.
I'd certainly be amazed if it didn't take some kind of nick. They deal with it really, really well. Sheffield United reach, lovely little touch. Suspicion of handball, certainly from Duffy. As it comes out, Poodle absolutely rifles it towards goal. Had the option.
Games, I'd go to the doctor and get that seen
could have been given. So he probably hasn't got the best angle of it as it comes firing through. Probably just good. Straight through the legs of Richard Thurman.
Referee's blind side, wasn't it? A handball shot. Stevens. O'Connor. Fletch. Duffy. Break the way of Lundstrom. Basham on the scene. Now Baldock.
Crossing. Basham, no, he gets
a terrific header, a match by the save from João.
So often we see Sheffield United putting crosses into the box. It's the overlap by Basham creates that little bit of space. But Donaldson does so well to force this towards the top corner. Difficult effort, but Wildsmith more than equal to it.
Opens the corner.
Guided back on by O'Connell. Well, Wednesday in safe hands.
He's got big boots to fill, hasn't he? Kieran Westwood, player of the year last year. He has to use every single inch of that body.
My stream is very blurry.
Force it to safety. Really good header by Donaldson.
Blurry.
He's lived on scraps.
Patchy at the best of times.
They've come in bursts his goals, haven't they? Clayton Donaldson, 2 on his debut against Sunderland, and then for a former Birmingham City player, a particularly enjoyable time in front of the Holte End at Villa Park just before Christmas. Forcing the best out of Joe Wildsmith. Is an understudy to certainly one of, in many people's eyes, the best goalkeeper at this level, Kieran Westwood. Reach.
And some good clearance.
Sheffield Wednesday need that man to get forward at the right times. He has got the energy, he has got the quality.
He's going to take a long throw here. A bit in the penalty area.
Some up on the end of it. Baldock. Who'd fire it?
Oh, that was close for Sheffield Wednesday.
Always creeping beyond that far post.
Well, he had his warm-up only a few moments before, and again, it's from his long throw. He'll get it clear through Baldock. He tries to cut around it. Daniel Hoodle with a magnificent view of that. It's always drifting just outside the post.
Venâncio up against Clark.
And kicked long down the pitch.
Potential culture shock for a man making only his 4th appearance in English football, Federico Venâncio. Player coveted by a great number of clubs in the summer, but Wednesday who prized him away from Vitória Setúbal. Pudo not happy with that.
I'm not surprised. It's needless by Chris Basham. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah,
certainly been an edge to this game, as you would expect.
As you would hope for.
Yeah, very much so. I think we've been a little bit critical maybe of the quality in front of goal, chances created. But in terms of the endeavour, the fight, the spirit, matching each other, neither team giving an inch, we've certainly had all those ingredients.
Who's going to chuck something special in the mixing bowl in the next 40 minutes or so? Donaldson. Clark gets there. Full play by Glenn Lovens. Well, they say it's often the coolest head that wins on this occasion. Well, he's certainly a candidate for that, judging by that little moment. Lundstrom.
So far still 0-0, waiting for the first goal.
Clark. Really seeing the ball in these kind of areas at the moment. Seeking out Basher. Baldock.
With him.
Reach after Lundstrom. Basher. Lundstrom.
Brammell Lane.
Well, as Lundstrom is looking forward, he's looking for the pass to try and open the door. The organisation, Sheffield Wednesday point of view, very, very impressive. Man for man in wide areas, wing back up against each other.
There's O'Connell, and there's Stevens. It's O'Connell, he makes that overload in the wide area. Stevens should be doing better. Rhodes up well. Reach. Wallace now to Palmer. Wallace working onto the left foot, goes the other way. Now it'll open up for him.
Good side from Smith.
And Moore hangs on, having reacted to the initial shot.
Simon Moore then, he grabs it.
He does really well. Eventually Simon Moore lost Wallace. He wants to get it onto his left foot. He chops it back on. It's a little nick, and Simon Moore, second third attempt. Jordan Rhodes doing everything he can. As it comes through all the bodies, just takes a little nick. Simon Moore eventually gets it. Basham helps Usher. Jordan Rhodes out of the equation. Ross Wallace down and hurt in the aftermath of that, but a more difficult test for the Sheffield United goalkeeper than it initially appeared.
Than they did in the first half.
From the point of view of the spectacle, both goalkeepers having some business to attend to in the early stages of the second half.
Sheffield United certainly did dominate the first half. Ross Wallace is down.
It was all about big expectation, big crowds. Has been manager at Borussia Mönchengladbach, Hertha Berlin. On Derby Day there were often 70,000 in attendance for those respective clubs. Against Cologne or Union Berlin as it was across the city from Hertha. I don't think it phases him in the slightest, Dan. I really don't. We've seen him behind the scenes here, haven't we? In and around the dressing room, looks very, very relaxed.
Yeah, still 0-0.
In and around the dressing room, the way he spoke pre-match and the build-up to this game, he realises what it means. But ultimately, he's here to be successful.
Donaldson for Sheffield United.
57, 58 minutes.
Had a
very, very well indeed.
And Ross Wallace had a shot through the bodies, which Moore made a fantastic save.
Well, changes in the dugout, changes in the boardroom. That's Captain Mayer, the new Sheffield Wednesday chief executive. I'm sure an appointment that's been met with a fair amount of surprise in some parts of southeast London. Was not a particularly revered figure at Charlton Athletic, to say the very least. But Dishwan Shansiri, the chairman, saying you've got to trust me.
That ball now. What's in the box now from Sheffield United?
Baldock. Back for Clark.
Plays it.
Teed up for Lundstrom.
No.
And Fleck will hit it.
Oh,
Stuffy in the way in an offside position.
Offside. And the stream. Oh, no. Great.
The stream
comes back.
Towards Rhodes.
Oh, don't stop screwing up. the stream has stopped. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, we've lost the stream. Brilliant. Come on. Come back. Oh, I can have to. Oh, what's going on here?
In an offside position. João towards Rhodes.
Big chance here for Sheffield United Wednesday.
Michael Brown mentioned at half-time he needs to stay a little bit more central. Certainly they need to avoid more ammunition to get him in the game.
Well, both leading men up front.
Oh, for God's sake.
Men up front.
Oh, come on, stream. Let's reload another one in. Come on.
Back again.
Hopefully this will be a better stream. 61 minutes
Clark.
played.
O'Connell on his heels a fraction.
Again, it's areas of the pitch you don't really want Leon Clark operating. Duffy's already out there. We know the centre-half will join in to double up. Fleck already on that side, stay in the box, wait for the delivery. Clear signs of frustration from Leon Clark.
The nod against Sheffield Wednesday earlier in the season, partly because he was the only striker standing really in terms of fitness at that point.
That's going to be a free kick.
Certainly looking to earn himself a free kick there, Ender Stevens. The referee not impressed.
Really like a free kick.
Richard Stearman is the matter in hand there.
Sheffield United trying to fight another attack. On their left.
Fleck. Into Donaldson.
Donaldson does nothing.
Now here's reach for Wednesday. Wallace.
Wednesday going to go with Wallace.
Palmer. Dominant attacking presence in this second half, but it's United on the move. And Leon Clark finding Donaldson. Well, Lumans has to get it right. And now on a booking, taking a chance going into any challenge.
What do you think of Sheffield United? I don't think this is going to be a red card. Definitely a booking.
Well, he is going to go into his pocket. And he is going to dismiss the Sheffield Wednesday captain.
Second bookable offence.
From a long way away. I think
so
the referee's got that
been
right.
Sent off
get caught out defensively here.
Wednesday.
Leon Clark picks up the ball in an area that can go and counter-attack as he feeds Clayton Donaldson. Donaldson's always going to have the pace, and it's clumsy more than anything else. He puts himself in a position. Referee David Coote has to make the decision. I think he's made the right one.
Good position.
We dismissed a Sheffield United player on his last visit here in John Fleck, the referee. Now the Wednesday captain has gone. There's a set-piece test on its way imminently, and some real reorganisation to do.
Just gone 64 minutes.
Well, is this the turning point? That's the kind of attention we don't need.
Isn't that nice? One of the Sheffield United supporters gave a Sheffield Wednesday player a bottle of beer. He gave Lauren a bottle of beer.
So now the Blades are going to make this change, and it's James Wilson. What an occasion on which to make your debut for Sheffield United.
He did feel Chris Wilder had to change something, even with the sending off of Glenn Hugans. Hasn't perturbed him.
James
Wilson's been waiting patiently on the line for a few minutes to try and enter the fray.
Witnessing his Manchester United debut, where he banked a couple of goals against Hull City, but then Ryan Giggs' side.
Right, here comes the free kick.
Wait and see what Wednesday do, but the word is they are going to take off Jordan Rhodes when a moment arises. George Boyd perhaps his replacement, but we'll keep you posted.
He's in a good position.
Duffy and Fleck are both over it.
Duffy puts the ball in.
Smith gets there.
Come to nothing.
João Smith done really well again. He's been called upon tonight. He equal to everything thrown at him.
Goalkeeper potential. He's already been in England under 21 squads. Joe Wildsmith. Flipped forward by Landstrom. It's Duffy. Stevens moving to the edge of the box, but Duffy goes on. Venâncio is there, and so is Wildsmith again.
Duffy's been very, very quiet. He's been marshalled so well. He orchestrates a lovely little bit of skill in this game. Certainly going to be a little bit more stretched. Sheffield Wednesday down to 10 men.
And of course, hello to all United supporters.
Forward by Fox. Now Rhodes. This is Jones. Wallace.
Looking for this. It's got Palmer. I think Willie passed it out.
Reach.
Here comes Reach.
Lucas João. Fox making tracks forward. Here's David Jones. Lucas João. Reach. Cut out though by O'Connell. Now Duffy. And Wilson on the charge, but he looked for Clark.
Wednesday will score at some point.
Involved in a scrape, I think, with Ross Wallace off the ball.
Sometimes going under 10 men is not the advantage for the team playing with 11 men.
A break to Baldock.
Here comes Baldock.
Duffy.
Duffy might try to put the cross straight in.
Now Baldock. Basham outside him. Here's Basham.
Basham should put the cross in. He's passed back to Baldock.
Baldock does deliver.
Comes in.
James Wilson loitering with intent on the near post. Corner is the verdict.
He had a lot of work to do. George Baldock. He faces up at him, Reach. What a ball that is towards that front post area. Wilson tries to get across the front. He's certainly not happy with the decision.
Here comes the corner.
Wildsmith in charge again.
Easily gathered by Wildsmith.
Buying some important seconds.
He just rolls it out.
Here's Wallace.
As it stands,
very cagey from Wednesday.
Josh Luca has left it as it is in terms of personnel. The decision now to see what the system change. Kept it to a back four. Fox making his way over to get instructions from the coaching staff.
Well, Jordan Rhodes is the man to be withdrawn.
Jordan Rhodes hasn't done much.
Circumstances dictating in the mind of Josh Luca.
Somebody supports Watford. Owl for life. Note up the blades. Hello Ben Coleman, thanks for joining.
George Boyd will step in.
Another one spiked.
Just
Come on, you
returned
blades.
from a shoulder injury. One Scottish international for another. And they had a little meeting involving Lukai Lee Fulham, part of the existing coaching staff who stayed on Remy Venâncio, all in deep discussion about
20 minutes to play.
what the rejig would entail.
Wednesday do anything? Oh, they gave the ball out. This is good. Here comes Sheffield United.
Cut out by Jones.
They didn't do nothing to get attacked.
Well, it looks like he's keeping that back four. Coote gone in alongside Venâncio. George Boyd left wing. Ross Wallace took in on the right. Pretty much back to Carlos Carvajal. Type system.
Anyway, here comes Sheffield United.
Coote's had a
ball play.
Here's Lundstrom.
Oh, it could be a goal.
Coote's challenge.
Dreadful.
He's had a
We'll say a good
taste of
change
life
by
as a centre-back
Coote
in a
to put
player
out
this
for a
season
corner.
anyway.
I think that
He's
ball
defended
comes
this one
in.
really well. Lundstrom keeps his run going. It's
Needs
positive.
to do better than that.
And it's good defending. Daniel Coote as it comes back off. Coote just clips Lundstrom. Wide for a goal kick.
The majority of his starts this season have been as a centre-back. So, no great culture shock for him. Come to know him as a rampaging left-back and even more attacking player in his earlier days.
Wednesday going backwards. Oh, they're going to throw.
He's done well again there. Because the ball back from Morgan Fox was poor. It should have been just left back for Coote to come onto it, deliver first time, forced him to take in a touch. But at that stage, Leon Clark was able to put pressure on.
Duffy's challenge there. Lundstrom. Stevens. Stearman. Basham. Lundstrom. Basham again. Clark.
Sheffield United passing the ball around, but not creating anything.
To O'Connell. Really get things moving. It's Fleck. We'll get a free kick. Ross Wallace. We can see what he thinks about it.
Well, he's furious, isn't he? I don't see any reason for Fleck to go down unless he's been caught. They work it really well from right back towards the left. Fleck held the width and he clearly goes above the ball, and it's a nasty challenge by Ross Wallace. It really is, as he chops inside. It's reckless. He's Paul Coote, absolutely no doubt. Issue that yellow card.
Would have been a slight red, but he only got yellow.
He's
been
on the edge. He's certainly been involved in one or two of the more aggressive moments you expect to see in a derby. A simmering feud with a couple of Sheffield United players. Are they going to get one absolutely right? It's Duffy. Oh, and it's Leon Clark. They're shouting for hands, are they?
The delivery is really good from Duffy. His gaps now Duffy starting to appear. I'm not sure Leon Clark knows much about this. As he comes in, his body's everywhere he does, and he should be doing better. He really should.
Hits the ball
sure
on the penalty spot.
Jack O'Connell was in particular appealing for, but
from Leon Clark.
First opportunity falling Leon Clark's way, coming from that set piece. Seemed to be much ado about nothing, his appeal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the appeals are about, but it was a really good opportunity. Leon Clark, first viewing, just assumed the hit off him because it trickled wide, but he sees it a little bit late, maybe.
Stevens. Fleck. Palmer's challenge. Well, the 10 men standing firm at the moment.
The corner of Sheffield United here, could be a chance.
Look at João in the way.
Well, they've been bright all night from the set pieces. Some of them haven't come off. He just runs off Ross Wallace. It's far too easy from Fleck. Just strokes it into the path of him, Duffy.
Connell coming to the near post. Fox's head. Venâncio thumping it away from danger.
Not in the box, but not really.
Clark.
Making the most of their chances. They've had a lot.
You can only imagine the tide in this direction will become more relentless. Baldock's ball.
There's no one there.
Stevens.
Someone in the field shouting handball.
This is the Leon Clark effort. Just minutes earlier, he gets into really good earlier. Venâncio with his hand in the air. I think he's claiming for offside. Venâncio is. Lucas João's appealing for a handball. He'll be disappointed. Leon Clark should have hit the target. Should have waited all with work.
Able to turn it on, and Boyd able to impose himself. It will be a Wednesday free kick.
So the Wednesday, 30 minutes to play. Still 0-0.
Well, just found Wednesday a tougher nut to crack. His first home derby as an active participant. Never actually played in one while he was here in earlier days. Now here's Fleck. Reach. Wilson getting after Palmer.
I'm not sure Liam Palmer particularly wanted that ball back. Joe Wildsmith. He should have put his foot through it. It was really good pressure by Sheffield United to force him into that.
Basham finding Baldock. Now here's Duffy. Duffy. Lundstrom. Here's O'Connell. Fleck. Stevens. Duffy. Lundstrom.
Shoot.
Finish of a man who prefers his right foot.
Well, it was the same with Stevens. He had the opportunity, but it was on his right foot. Next to come back in. Chops it in here, doesn't fancy it, strokes it across. It's unselfish by Duffy, chops it in, and it opens up the angle. See, head in hands. I just wonder what Chris Wilder will be thinking in terms of tweaking things. They're struggling to break down this Sheffield Wednesday back line. Now a back four, but still very, very organised and determined to hold out.
Certainly the most impressive aspect of Wednesday's performance tonight.
It's been decent.
That's what Luakai's reputation tends to be, manufacturer of very solid teams that tend in the end to achieve the objective of promotion. Basham now for Duffy. One Clark is in there. Oh, Venâncio got there first.
They're certainly starting to ask questions now. Sheffield United, this back four, under more pressure. Duffy, he's offside, Leon Clark. Really good ball. It's again more than a suspicion of offside. It's actually a really good defensive line again. Venâncio, he gets a touch. Waldsmith claims it.
I've seen the Wednesday centre-backs facing their own goal with an element of hope and pray about them too often tonight. And that's real credit to the way they've gone about their business and how they have frustrated Sheffield United. Basham. Duffy. Baldock. Basham. Lundstrom. Into Wilson. Duffy. On now for Basham. Well, the frustration in the centre from his colleagues tells the story.
Well, up until that moment, it was really good play by Sheffield United. They were patient, but they passed it with real quality. Again, suspicion of offside, given the benefit of the doubt. They have the numbers in there. Leon Clark, again, frustrated with the quality of service.
I mentioned a little earlier that Lucas João was one of their very tallest players, along with Joost van Aken at 6'4". The one man who does give added presence. The big man from Kosovo, Ati Nuhu.
Changes the dynamic now. Nuhu coming on. Lucas João was looking jaded, certainly didn't have the impact in the second half that he did in the first half. That's the type of delivery Nuhu can provide.
Well, Stearman looks a picture of innocence, but he had his hands round Ati Nuhu's neck there.
Well, he has to provide that base up there. See Stearman so keen to go and win it. Lundstrom should be screening it a little bit better. Now it gives Ross Wallace an opportunity to deliver. I would imagine he'd be going in the direction of Nuhu.
He's certainly making his presence felt in there. Determined that that ball would not reach Nuhu. Coote, who's going to take charge of this. Weeks just saying to Liam Palmer not to make tracks forward and get involved.
Yeah, see, no one can beat Man City.
Nuhu, Fox and Boyd in the box. Stearman to return it where it came from. Nothing else, it's bought them a bit of respite. Nuhu looking to make his sizable presence felt, but it's Wallace. And Wallace will get there, and he's not impressed the officials. And, well, John Fleck is making the point that he's been booked and maybe he was diving and maybe he should have seen another yellow.
Well, he's certainly played on the edge tonight, hasn't he? Ross Wallace, his enthusiasm. I think he's slightly fortunate. John Fleck is aware of what Ross Wallace is trying to do. He may well be fortunate there, Ross Wallace.
That's Wilson. Smith always behind it.
James Wilson, yes, Man United player in a shot there.
It's Fleck on the ball as he finds Wilson. He's just started to get into the game. Sharp turn. Unfortunately, Sheffield United straight at Joe Waldsmith.
second attempt on target the Blades have managed. Wildsmith producing that excellent save from Clayton Donaldson's header.
7 shots
Here's
on
Newhugh.
target for Sheffield United. But not one in the score sheet over yet. That's another bad foul.
He's certainly guilty of a foul, and there will be more.
Looking for Sheffield United. Still Sheffield Wednesday.
Newhugh straight into the action. Palmer a little bit sloppy with his distribution and his efforts to stop Jack O'Connell. Clearly takes him out.
Now Lundstrom for Sheffield United. Duffy. Wilson, we need to crack of the whip as far as injuries are concerned. He's not had a lot of luck in his loan spells away from Manchester United.
Overlapping.
Duffy. Lundstrom's cross.
Now the ball comes in.
Wilson after it. Oh, Palmer.
Partial dealt with it. Still with Sheffield United.
Fleck. Wallace.
Back in the Sheffield United half, they didn't forward.
O'Connell now for Sheffield United.
Side.
Duffy. Stevens.
Passing it around pretty nicely.
Turning it back to Stevens. Here's Duffy.
Nothing in the final third.
Looking towards George Baldock, who cut in from the flank.
I just wonder whether Chris Wilder may be tempted to sacrificing one of the centre-halves. He's only up against Newhugh. He's not going to get away from them pace-wise. Maybe stick Billy Sharp into the equation just to show another attacking body on there. I'm sure Billy Sharp will have been frustrated to see James Winston get the nod ahead of him to come into this game.
There's no occasion he would relish more than this. Steeped in the Sheffield United cause. Couldn't play the part he wanted because of fitness at Hillsborough. Towards Newhugh again. Boyd beavering in and around him. It's picked up by O'Connell. Now it's Stevens. John Lundstrom. Basham. Duffy outside him. Lundstrom wants it. Pings it for Stevens. It's a cue for O'Connell to make tracks. For Stevens to come inside, but a break to reach. Counter on here. And it's Liam Palmer leading it. Newhugh. Reach. He's free on the far side.
Has to pass it back. And the stream's going to freeze.
Wallace.
What happened there?
Leon Clark shadowing him. Reach. Driving onto it. It's Palmer.
Shoot. And Palmer should have had a shot. Put the cross in.
Wallace works it inside. Fox was arriving. Stearman dealt with it when his keeper might have done. Lundstrom. Moore's in trouble. It's Reach.
Oh,
but he
what a
reacted
save.
superbly. Simon Moore, because he was in real pain.
Well, it's Sheffield Wednesday now, starting to ask the questions. Ross Wallace on the right-hand side. Delivers a really good ball, causes all kinds of problems. Simon Moore and Stearman. Stearman gets the header out towards Servi, but as it comes out, Reach, real composure. And Simon Moore does really well just to gather himself and tip that over the bar. Good effort by Reach.
Reach denied, and the 10 men still looking to ask some searching questions in the final moments.
Could Sheffield was in now still the game? in front.
And Palmer
of
buzzing
their
around right on the goal
supporters.
line. Well, Venâncio
The
trying
ball.
to peel away at the back.
Steeds over the giddy.
To it at the last there.
A bit.
Now here's Jones.
Back down there.
4 added minutes. Wallace.
4 added minutes. He's still
position to
going. Oh, it
Boyd.
striked it more, but still with Sheffield Wednesday. Oh,
In the end, he delivered a test for the struggling goalkeeper. Seems to have
Should Sheffield United suck the
shaken off most of
keeper?
the effects of the earlier knock.
No, that's a foul.
Sheffield Wednesday have been magnificent, and Simon Moore has been well and truly on his toes. Had the option of going to David Jones in the right battle with Fleck. He unleashed a really good effort. It's straight at Simon Moore. He's clearly feeling the effect of that collision with Richard Stearman.
Well, Ross Wallace,
Wednesday.
elements of him being the pantomime villain as far as the Blade supporters are concerned. He departs the stage.
Lewis Jones is a United supporter, and we have Chelsea
Sean
fans
Clare
and
drafted
Tottenham
into the
fans.
squad after a successful loan spell earlier in the season at Gillingham, where he really did showcase his versatility. He's going to get a brief cameo role here in the white heat of this Sheffield derby.
Sean Clare, though he was on loan at Gillingham and didn't do too much. And not exactly a great substitution. He was bloody awful at Gillingham. They're glad though as a Gills fan his loan spell is over. And not a great substitution upon Sheffield Wednesday. That's for Sheffield United. Still playing the ball around. The passing
Fleck.
has been fantastic from United.
Jones impeding his progress. Fleck again. Wilson.
Shoot.
Reached and make the most of the challenge. He was able to get through it. Duffy
Still with Sheffield United. Just need something clinical.
nipping it in
maybe.
towards Baldock. It's
Oh,
Fox
that's a
who
good
dealt with
header.
it.
And Sheffield United have to do it all over again.
Duffy. Baldock again. Dangerous delivery.
Ooh.
It was well, Ender Stevens trying to flick it.
He takes it away from James Wilson. He's delivered into a good area between that defensive line and the midfield of Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield United putting the 10 men of Wednesday under siege at the end here. But Reach deals with it.
A minute left. Because I'd like to say thank you very much for everybody who joined in today. I apologise,
Duffy.
this is going to be a 0-0.
Basham outside him, but Fox in the way. Now here's Baldock again. Lundstrom to unleash it.
Ooh, that's very wide.
Well, it's the second effort he's had on that left foot. He's clearly has a lot of confidence in it. They work it well again. Baldock through Duffy as it comes over. Failed to test Will Smith again. Baldock again involved. Delivers into a really good area. It's an awkward. He tries to flick it. Ender Stevens on his weaker right foot. Probably couldn't have got the effort off. Should have got hold of it. It's pretty much summed up the night in front of goal for Sheffield United.
It's now down to David Coote. How long remains and whether a breakthrough can be found. It's Reach.
I think the game's over. If we play more time.
Fleck. The spoils are shared.
Game over. 0-0. Could have been better. Could have had some goals. But 0-0, I suppose, keeps it a fair result. Thank you to all the Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United fans who joined in the stream, and all the other football supporters. And for the 31 likes, I'll say thank you very much, and good night.